The bra strap that my sister threw away was made into a bracelet by Ryan, and he wore it for 3 years. When his movie as a director became popular all over the internet, Ryan smiled casually. She is a secret that I wouldn't tell even after drinking 3 cups as a punishment. My sister shyly gestured in sign language. Fool. You are also my lover hidden under great friendship. The whole internet once again went crazy over this on-screen couple. While I was preparing for our 3rd anniversary at home, I drafted a divorce agreement. Mr. System, I don't want to play this crappy game anymore. On our 3rd anniversary, I was making a cake while my son was watching TV in the living room. The sound of the TV reached the kitchen. Just now, the box office of the new movie Time Thoughts, by the genius director Ryan exceeded 10 billion. There were overwhelming news announcements and real-time interviews broadcasted all over the capital. After 3 years, people celebrated the fact that this recognized fairy couple in the entertainment industry was in the same frame again. My son cheered. Mom, it's Dad and Auntie. On TV, the man was in a suit and tie, always with that face that kept people thousands of miles away. Ryan had a cold temperament, was clear about public and private matters, and was never lenient. But a bold reporter asked, Ryan, it is rumored that this movie you produced is to commemorate your first love. The female lead of the movie coincides with Miss Vivian in many ways. Are these coincidences? As soon as these words were spoken, the whole place was silent. My sister Vivian looked confused and gestured. Achuan. What's wrong? Although she was deaf and mute, she also sensed the unusual atmosphere. Ryan didn't like others invading his privacy. In the face of similar interviews before, this person always avoided answering. But this time, the man surprisingly smiled. No comment. She is a secret that I wouldn't tell even after drinking 3 cups as a punishment. Ryan also made sign language for this sentence, and Vivian naturally understood it. Under the camera, the woman quickly responded shyly. Fool. You are also my lover hidden under great friendship. The male and female leads looked at each other. Ryan's curved lips again caused an uproar. This is a famous line in the movie. Using movie plots to counter sharp-tongued reporters is common. But it is precisely Ryan and Vivian who are this pair of partners. As the first love CP in the entertainment industry, now being in the same frame again and producing content has caused countless fans and netizens to go crazy. While the whole internet once again went crazy over this fairy couple, countless insults once again flooded into my private messages. Has Auntie divorced Ryan today? Give me back my CP. Why hasn't Arya been hit by a car today? Fairy couple. A match made in heaven. Arya, get out of the entertainment industry. Stealing someone's love. You have no heart. For 3 years. I have experienced such online abuse for 3 years. I, who always thought I was strong-hearted and innocent until proven guilty, felt powerless for the first time. Marrying Ryan is like a clumsy cook who can never make a delicious cake. My son has already fallen asleep on the sofa. I walked over and heard him muttering about Dad and Auntie. So boring. I smiled. It's fine if the man is useless. But even a piece of flesh that fell from his body is not close to me. The system sensed that I was in a bad mood and comforted me. Host. Success is near. The male lead is just putting on an act. Children's words are innocent. That transmigrated woman can't cause any big waves. Please don't take it to heart with them. 3 years ago, after Ryan lost his memory because of saving me, I signed an agreement with the system. As long as I maintained the development of the original plot, the system would help him recover his memory. But now, I no longer want to find the previous Ryan. Let him lose his memory. Love whoever he wants. I warily rubbed the space between my eyebrows and began to draft a divorce agreement. Mr. System, I don't want to play this crappy game anymore. That night, I was woken up by a kiss. Fierce and urgent, with a strong smell of alcohol. What does the divorce agreement mean? Arya, who allowed you to mention divorce? By the moonlight. I saw Ian's flushed eyes. With the box office success, This person who was allergic to alcohol got drunk for the first time. Now, with a rash all over his body, he casually bit my earlobe. Jealous? Me and her. It's just an act. You are the main wife. No one can shake your position. Kisses fell on my cheek, leaving a thrilling tickle. Ryan has skin hunger. Even if he loses his memory, his body still depends on me. I know the fan's words are harsh and you are uncomfortable. Be good. Do what you should do. Come and kiss me. There was unconceivable domineering and arbitrariness in his words. Ryan acts recklessly because he knows I like him. This person was like this before losing his memory, and is still like this after losing his memory. 3 years ago, Ryan and I had a car accident during our honeymoon trip. After this person protected me under his body, he lost his memory. When he opened his eyes again, my former lover looked at me with a face full of strangeness. He resisted everyone's approach. Only my sister Vivian could talk to him. Just because they were childhood sweethearts who accompanied each other's youth. But clearly, that should have been my life. I am the real daughter who was mistakenly switched. But everyone sympathizes with the weak and asks me to be tolerant and accept everything. But what about the hardships I suffered in the first half of my life? Thinking of this annoying thing again, I impatiently dodged his kisses. Ryan, don't go crazy. I didn't want to coax a drunk anymore and turned to go to the next room. The man sneered unpleasantly. Arya, I don't like the game of playing hard to get. I am very difficult to coax. Don't make me angry. My hand was firmly grasped, leaving bruises. I frowned uncomfortably and my gaze fell on the bracelet on his wrist again. Only today did I know that the bracelet this person had worn on his wrist for 3 years was made of Vivian's bra strap. In my consciousness, the system tried hard to persuade me. Husband and wife make up after a quarrel. Host. Just take the opportunity and step down. Ryan is only being seduced by that transmigrated woman because he has lost his memory. As long as he regains his memory, he will definitely stand by your side. Disgusting. So dirty. I looked at him and seemed to wake up all of a sudden. No joke. Ryan. I am really tired. The system still wanted to say something but was forcefully shut down by me. You too. If you keep making noise, I will take out your battery. The news of my wanting a divorce soon reached the ears of our families. During a family gathering, Vivian was so guilty that she shed tears. Xiao Tang. It's all sister's fault. It's sister who doesn't know the proper limits. Xiao Tang. Don't divorce Seichuan. Crying again. As soon as Vivian cried, my hot-tempered elder brother immediately slapped the table and stood up. Arya. Why are you bullying your sister again? Don't be too excessive. I didn't move and watched coldly as my relatives busied themselves comforting Vivian. I remember when this person learned about her identity as a fake daughter. She also cried like this, making the Su family's hearts soften completely. Mom and Dad sighed. This child has a hard life. She was born deaf and mute. She is used to being a young lady. How could she endure those hard days in the village? They cared about their adopted daughter who they had raised with one hand. But they forgot that at that time, their real biological daughter had not yet received a warm hug from them. When I first came here, I was the only one in the whole family who didn't know sign language, clearly sharing the same blood as them. But I was so out of place like an outsider. At that time, the only young man who stood by my side is now also. I put aside my thoughts and forced back the soreness in my eyes. If they can't be fair, why did they claim me back? If I had known this earlier, I should have stayed in the village and fed cattle. When I wanted a divorce, my father immediately slapped me. Rascal. The marriage between the Zhu and Z families is not something you can divorce just because you want to. Arya, are you trying to anger me to death? The Zhu family and the Z family have a child marriage agreement. After I was claimed back, I became Ryan's fiancée. I was indeed smitten at first sight with this cold on the outside but warm on the inside young man. We also loved each other, even in a huge accident. This person also gave me the chance to live first. Perhaps it was really a head injury. This person remembered all the things I had done for him on Vivian's head. He even entered the entertainment industry for Vivian and became a famous on-screen couple with her. When his skin hunger didn't act up, this person was always cold. To me, there was only one sentence left. Arya, don't be shameless. When he was sick, this person would stick to me, with a voice so hot that it could almost melt people. He murmured, Arya, kiss me. Only when he was sick did this person seem more like the young man who hadn't lost his memory. But now, Ryan's eyes would only fall on Vivian. His joys, angers, sorrows, and pleasures would only melt for her. Facing me, he only had one cold sentence. Divorce? Arya, since my body chose you, don't even think about it. I wanted divorce. Whoever loves to maintain this crappy plot can maintain it. What Vivian can take away. I, Arya, disdain to want anymore. The system knew I was angry but still argued blatantly. Host. Be lenient whenever possible. The male lead only has a reaction to you. The transmigrated woman cannot succeed. They are just an on-screen couple with a name but no reality. How can they compare to you? The legitimate wife. It's just a matter of one line. A matter of one line. My action of packing my luggage paused. There was a lump in my throat, and I only felt sadness. System. How long are you going to brainwash me? Since Ryan stayed out all night for Vivian several times. Since Ryan broke the rules for Vivian again and again. Since he cried and laughed for her. This matter has long been not a small thing. Ryan loathed me after losing his memory. He loathed this body that only depended on me. His eyes were sarcastic and cold. Arya, you really disgust me. In front of me. He said she was like an animal. But on the internet. He tacitly agreed that he and Vivian were soulmates. Losing memory is not an excuse. Even the most passionate heart will be shattered by indifference. That movie named Time Thoughts was the last straw that crushed me. It turns out that my husband can treat a person so tenderly. For 3 years. I really feel tired. Perhaps what the amnesiac Ryan said is right. True hearts change in an instant. Why should I be sure that I am the only one? Before I left, my son tightly grasped my arm. Mom. Don't go. Mom. Mom. This was the first time this little guy cried so hard. My heart softened a little. Xiao Yan. Then do you want to go with Mom? He shook his head desperately and cried even harder. If Mom leaves, Aunt will cry. Dad will scold Aunt. I don't want Aunt to be sad. I staggered. And tears still rolled down. So this guy is crying not because he misses me, but still thinking about Vivian. It is said that a child is the mother's heart. Now this blow is really painful. I took a deep breath and stood up. Mom is not allowed to go. Where are you going? Mom. Ben was throwing a tantrum again. In the past, I would definitely kiss him affectionately. But now, I just closed the door indifferently. Tell your dad that I wish him and Vivian a lifetime of happiness. Arya. Let him go. When people are unlucky, all the bad things come pouring in. As soon as I went out, I was hit head-on by a turning Maybach. The car window rolled down, revealing a face somewhat similar to Ryan's. Sister-in-law. Get in the car. I'll take you. It's Leo. Why is this guy back in the country? I was stunned. This person disappeared after confessing to me and being rejected in college. After I got married to Ryan. He didn't even come to our wedding. I originally thought it was better not to meet to avoid embarrassment. I never thought that as soon as I got in the car, I would notice something was wrong. The car door locked. The young man leaned forward. His eyebrows and eyes flushed. Great. I'm so happy. Sister-in-law can figure it out. Brother mistook a fisheye for a pearl. It's his ignorance and bad luck. The obsessed and burning gaze fell on me. Leo pressed me against the window and gently licked my eyelid with his tongue. His low voice was full of temptation. He doesn't want to be sister's little dog. I do. My body only reacts to sister. Sister. Look at me. Okay. This. As soon as I opened my mouth, Ryan's gloomy voice came from outside the car. Leo. What the hell are you doing inside? Almost instantly, my heart rose to my throat. Don't. Listen to sister-in-law. Leo chuckled and covered most of my face with his suit. The car window rolled down. This person smiled brightly. Brother. I'm back in the country. From Ryan's perspective, it wasn't clear. He could only vaguely see his own taciturn younger brother pressing a woman and asking for a kiss. The first day back in the country should come home and say hello instead of being shameless and immoral here. The two brothers of the Z family both have a serious skin hunger disorder. Usually they are no different from normal people. But when the disease flares up, their whole body burns as if countless ants are biting. Only when they touch the person they have identified can they feel like rain after a long drought. The amnesiac Ryan especially hates this body. He has always been proud and doesn't want to admit it anyway. Every time he has an attack, he demands intimate contact pathologically like an animal. And the only person in the world who can comfort him is actually me, who has a notorious reputation. At the beginning of losing his memory, this person's tone was sharp and cruel. Who are you? Did you coerce me into getting married with this matter? My joyful heart suddenly dropped to the bottom. My former lover turned against me mercilessly. Every sentence stabbed me in the heart. Everyone in the world can say that I coerced him. Only Ryan can't. Because it was this person who planned the proposal. Arya. On top of Mount Everest. I am above everything else. Only below you. In the past, it was passionate and sincere. But now, everything has changed. Pulling my thoughts back. This is the 7th day since I left Ryan. And news of our upcoming divorce is in an uproar. Netizens and fans are vehemently criticizing. Rejoicing. Arya. This scheming woman has occupied Ryan for 3 years. Finally. They are getting divorced. My CP is real. I wish my ex-sister-in-law nightmares every day. Can't sleep well. Be poor and down and out. Be afflicted with diseases. And have nothing go smoothly. My on-screen couple is finally coming back to life. Has Arya divorced today? Comments like this are sweeping in at an extremely terrifying speed. I have nowhere to go and can only temporarily stay at Leo's house. The most dangerous place is the safest place. Ryan won't think that I am right under his nose all the time. Arya. I have limited patience. If you don't come back tonight, don't come back forever. This is the latest message Ryan sent me. On TV. It is the latest live meeting of Time Thoughts. The screams of fans below the stage rose one after another. Many male fans called Vivian wife. Ryan was obviously displeased. Vivian smiled and secretly made sign language. Jealousy bag. On the screen. I will always be yours. The man looked at her quietly. It seemed as if he had been given a tranquilizer. What about in reality? The gentle words spread throughout the venue through the microphone. The fans went wild. Vivian winked slyly. As long as you want. It can be. Mr. Screenwriter. I will always be loyal to you. Official sugar is the most deadly. Not to mention this person is Ryan who never promotes. Even if Vivian's answer is a movie line, it can still make fans addicted to shipping. I was annoyed. I gave the live stream a bad review. Replied with a go away word. And deleted and blocked it in one go. Finally feeling a little better. As soon as I turned my head, I bumped into a naked chest. Smooth abdominal muscles. Bulging veins on the forearm. And a faint torpid fragrance. In front of me, the beautiful young man looked down gently. With drooping eyes. Sister-in-law. There is no hot water in the bathroom. Leo is very beautiful. Although it is strange to describe a man as beautiful. But besides beautiful, I can't think of any other adjectives to praise this captivating face. The two outstanding C brothers. One is a genius director, and the other is a peerless singer. If Ryan is an unreachable snow lotus, he is known as the #1 fox spirit in the music industry on foreign networks. At this moment, This famous big singer is pitifully asking me to adjust the hot water. This younger brother has grown a lot in 3 years. His wet eyebrows and eyes and the crisscrossing veins on his body actually look inexplicably alluring. Thank you, sister-in-law. Polite and respectful words. There is no sign of the madness in the car that day. I forgot to take medicine that day and scared sister-in-law. Sister-in-law won't hold it against me. Right? In the silence between looking at each other, this person lowered his eyes guiltily and broke the deadlock. It's all my fault. I have this annoying dirty disease. I offended sister-in-law. If sister-in-law is still angry, come and hit me. It's the first time I've seen someone ask to be beaten. I was stunned. But my suspended heart calmed down a little. In these 7 days, I was on tenterhooks, fearing that Leo would say something shocking again. Now that he explained so frankly, I was relieved. It doesn't matter. I shook my head and looked serious. Chow Yan, you don't need to call me sister-in-law anymore. Your brother and I are getting divorced. The young man curled up the corners of his mouth and quickly suppressed it. His voice was strange. Is it really going to come to this? I really feel sorry for my brother. The burning gaze fell on me again. The young man bent down and looked up at me in a low posture. In the center of his thin and white neck was a red mole. His smiling voice seemed to have a hook. However, I still support sister's decision. I wish sister a happy life after separation. That night, I tossed and turned and couldn't sleep. I was alone in a daze on Leo's big bed. There was an old copy of Quartet on the bedside table. That was the graduation gift I gave this person in college. There is a passage in it that is highlighted by the owner. Confession is for children. Adults seduce directly. The first step of seduction is to abandon humanity. Basically, there are 3 routines. Become a cat. Become a tiger. Or become a dog soaked by rain. Did Leo mark this? Who is he going to seduce? I didn't go home. And neither did Ryan. The next day, the news of him and Vivian coming out of the same hotel upped the hot search. The ring on the ring finger disappeared. The reporter quickly gossiped. But the man didn't care and chuckled. It's just a ring. If it's lost, it's lost. In this world, with such advanced medicine, it's not certain who can't live without whom. Ryan is deliberate. He is warning me that medicine control instinct. Skin hunger disorder can't kidnap him. To him, Arya is dispensable. But it was also Ryan who delayed signing the divorce agreement when I proposed divorce. Even though Vivian shed all her tears, this person didn't know why he wouldn't let go. Isn't it good to always be like this? Vivian, it's just an identity. What's left of me is all yours. It's not enough. Far from enough. I have everything. Vivian doesn't want to leave me any of it. It's the same for parents and brother. So is it for lovers. Just like when I was 18 years old. She pressed me in the toilet cubicle. Under the harmless appearance is a mean and greedy soul. Arya. So what if you are the real daughter? So what if you are the heroine? I will take away everything of yours bit by bit. If a woman is not ruthless, her status is unstable. After a few days, this person accidentally hit her head while hanging on a wire. There was a massive hemorrhage. Due to a special blood type and insufficient blood supply in the hospital, she was in critical condition. Ryan was furious. Like a jade-faced demon. If anything happens to her, I'll hold you all responsible. Someone in the crowd shouted. Ryan, look for Arya. She also has panda blood. On the 2nd floor of the hospital, Ryan and I happened to look at each other. This person didn't even have time to ask why I was here. The first sentence he said was an order. Arya, come down and donate blood. I hid my medical records and said calmly. Why? She is your sister. I sneered. She doesn't have a drop of the Zhu family's blood. Which sister of mine is she? Enough. Must you be so aggressive? The scarlet in the man's eyes seemed to overflow. Arya, don't forget. You still owe me a life. Yes. If it wasn't for him protecting me under him 3 years ago, I might have been smashed to pieces already. It was also because of this selfless act that I chose to trust Ryan. But I didn't expect that Ryan, after losing his memory, would love Vivian so much. He would even be willing to use this matter to pressure me. After a long silence, I laughed. Okay. But I want a divorce. Ryan's lips were tightly pursed. After a long silence, under the repeated urging of the doctor, this person finally bit his back teeth and spoke. Okay. Arya. As long as you don't regret it. Vivian won the bet. She bet her life and got an empty position of Mrs. C. Outside the ward, all the people of the Sue family surrounded her hospital bed, showing concern. Poor child. It must be very painful. You have suffered. Humans seem to naturally like redemption literature. Everyone noticed deaf-mute Vivian, but no one thought of me, who had fallen into a coma due to excessive blood donation in the next ward. When I woke up again, there was laughter and joy in the next ward. Son Ben's voice was milky. Auntie doesn't hurt. The pain flies away. Dad and I will definitely protect you in the future. Ryan leaned against the doorframe and smiled. The 2 adults and 1 child looked just like a happy family of 3. This scene was really ironic. I never thought that a moment of happiness would require countless tears to repay. When Leo arrived, he immediately punched his brother. Ryan, Arya is anemic. Do you know that? She almost died. Don't talk about this to me anymore. I don't remember it at all. Do you really think I can't live without her? The 2 got into a fight. Ryan's voice was sarcastic and irritable. Her crying only makes me think of the decoration noise on the rooftop. I didn't force her. She is just lacking love. She is willing. She is grateful for a little pity. So cheap. Ryan, would actually fall in love with such a person. Even if I die of pain from an attack or die from taking medicine, I will never look for her again. Every word and sentence struck my heart. The cup smashed on the ground, broken into pieces. Those ugly words took root and sprouted. At this moment, I was not angry or sad anymore. I just felt disappointed and realized that I had misjudged people. Love is really a big lump of dog shit wrapped in cream. It's so fucked up. This world gives me a feeling that if I give my heart, I will be punished. Seeing me, Ryan was obviously stunned. For some reason, a sense of loss and fear enveloped him in an instant. In fact, since signing the divorce agreement, he had felt uncomfortable all over. When had Arya ever looked at him with such eyes? Why didn't he want a divorce? Why did he perfunctorily deal with Vivian subconsciously? Reasons. He didn't dare to think carefully. He only dared to say one thing in a bluffing manner. Arya, don't regret it. Half a month after divorcing Ryan, I recovered and resumed work. On a newly accepted parent-child variety show, I saw Ian again. Vivian was going to appear on the variety show, so he came to accompany her. He even brought his son Ben, who had never appeared in front of the media. If it were before, I would definitely be furious, accusing him of how he could expose the child to the public so easily. What about the child's safety when seen by people with ulterior motives? But now, I didn't say anything. These father and son can do whatever they want. Compared to my plain appearance, Vivian was even more luxurious and beautiful. I heard that she had recently obtained a marriage certificate with Ryan. Now she is the rightful Mrs. C. Behind the camera, this person was beaming and making sign language. Sister, as expected, your people are really useful. Parents are good. Husband is good. Son is also not bad. I like it very much. I smiled and raised my hand and firmly grabbed her neck. Shut up. Despicable thing. What you can take away can only prove to be garbage that needs to be discarded. Defying heaven and earth. A fake rich girl can actually bully me. A trans-migrated woman who doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth wants to deprive me of everything and replace me? Don't even think about it. What belongs to me, I will naturally take it back. Vivian. Keep your tail between your legs and don't be too complacent. After all, I can't guarantee what I will do to you. Perhaps the fierceness in my eyes scared Vivian. This person is deaf-mute after all. She only dared to glare at me resentfully. I controlled the strength in my hand. It could scare her but leave no trace. Vivian was frustrated and couldn't say anything. So, on the show, this person showed affection even more recklessly by pulling people. Handsome men and beautiful women were deeply in love. Ryan's eyes were filled with indulgent tenderness. The fans finally got their wish. My ship CP is really real. Lovers finally get married. A family of 3. Long live the first love party. Leopard and cat. I was born. This variety show is a system where children choose adults. Ben was the first to draw my name. In silence. Before the little guy could speak, I took the initiative to apply to be with autistic W. Anzi. W. Anzi likes me very much. From the first time she saw me, W. Anzi showed trust other than for her parents. After getting permission, W. Anzi happily threw herself into my arms. On the other side, Ben was like a little beast whose tail had been stepped on. He pushed W. Anzi down hard. Bad W. Anzi. Go away. Mom's embrace is only for me. Ben. I raised my voice. What are you doing? Mom. Seeing my unprecedented stern look. The little guy seemed about to cry. I am not your mom anymore. Ryan. Take care of your son. If anything happens to W. Anzi, just wait for my lawyer's letter. After saying this, I hurriedly carried the child and walked back. Sister. You are not in good health. Let me hold the child. Leo didn't know when he returned from the concert. This person appeared on this unknown variety show as an airborne guest. As soon as he appeared, it caused an uproar. It's God Yan. Why is he here too? So the important thing that brother said at the concert was actually to participate in a variety show? Oh my God. What's going on? Why is God Yan so familiar with Arya? This question. Obviously Ryan cares even more. Since Leo appeared, this person's frowned brow has never relaxed. Vivian made sign language to him several times. He was in a daze and didn't respond. But the child was still sobbing. Dad. I want Mom. Why didn't Mom choose me first? Ryan was even more annoyed than him. Shut up. How would I know? Ben was scared by his stern look and cried heartbreak on the spot without anyone comforting him. Vivian lowered her head and played with her nails. Can't she hear? So what if she knows the little guy is crying? As long as she doesn't look up. She doesn't have to coax a crybaby. A genius director and a peerless singer. The 2 brothers, who are both famous when mentioned alone, made a rare appearance in the same frame, pushing the show to an unprecedented popularity. Leo is young and clumsy with taking care of children. A braid was tied in a mess. Ryan sneered and looked down condescending. Leo. With you like this. How dare you come to a parent-child variety show? In terms of experience in taking care of children, he is indeed more experienced than Leo. But so what? The young man slowly knocked on my room door while holding the child. Sister. Good morning. Teach me to braid W. Anzi's hair. Leo is a good learner. He learned it over and over again and asked me to teach him step by step personally. Ryan's eyes darkened all of a sudden and unconsciously crushed a water cup. But the person in front of him still curled up his lips as if nothing had happened. Brother. How is it? Does the one sister taught me look good? Tit for tat. These 2 people seemed to be at odds. The 2 people had always been at odds. Now they didn't hide it at all. As long as Leo had too much contact with me on the show, Ryan would hold Vivian's chin and kiss her. His kiss was fierce, lingering and sticky, making people blush and their hearts race. I kissed her. In the dressing room outside the camera. Ryan blocked me inside. Arya. Did you see? I will kiss her. You are not so important either. In this half-month, I lived freely and unrestrained lie without you. What was this person talking about inexplicably again? I am not so important. You are not so important either, I said with a smile. Mr. C. You kissed her. Why are you telling me? The blood on Ryan's face instantly drained. His eyes were fixed on my expression. You don't care? Why should I care? This is not right. You are lying. The man was incredulous. In the diary, it said that you said you love me the most. So this person found that diary. This diary that records all my girlish thoughts was buried by me in a twine capsule. I don't know how Ryan found it. Whether he has recovered his memory or not. I don't want to care. Seeing my annoyed expression, Ryan became even more emotional. He was about to kiss me. But I slapped him hard and his face was turned aside. The man's eyes were wide with anger. You hit me? Arya. You hit me for that brat Leo? Yes. I hit you. My expression was very calm. Mr. Z. Don't be shameless. Please be self-respecting. Except for Ryan's family. Everyone else had a great time recording this variety show. Vivian was the one with the heaviest resentment. She participated in the show to embarrass me. Not to watch the father and son of the C family act absent-minded. These men, acting like this, were even more duplicitous than her. Ben even had a high fever that night. Arya, Xiao Yan keeps mentioning your name. On the phone. Ryan's voice was very cold. He was playful and insisted on catching fish for Mom. If Mom doesn't come to see him, he won't take medicine. Mom. The little guy's voice was weak. Xiao Yan was wrong. Xiao Yan misses Mom so much. Mom. Don't ignore me. Don't abandon me. I know Ben's temperament. Extremely stubborn. If he says he won't eat, he definitely won't eat. 39 degrees can easily burn a person stupid. For the third time when I was in a daze, Leo opened the door for me. Sister. If you can't let go, go and have a look. This is a mother's nature and right. I won't blame you. Ben saw me as he wished. He was burning hot and crying heartbreakabik. Mom. Take me away. Mom. I miss you so much. I don't want Auntie anymore. Auntie is not good to me. After coaxing the child to take the medicine and fall asleep. Only then did I notice that Ryan had been looking at me intently without blinking. Dense red rashes covered his neck. Arya. I drank alcohol. I am allergic to alcohol, and will go into shock. His voice was very hoarse. His eyes were bright. With an imperceptible plea. Since you are going to take him away, can you take me with you? At the same time, the long silent system suddenly appeared. Dear host. It is detected that the male lead's memory has recovered to 60%. So it's really recovered part of the memory. I laughed. As I laughed, tears streamed out. Aren't you cheap? Ryan? Go find your Vivian. The man's face was pale. He remained silent and threw a bottle of suppressant out of the window. The medicine is so bitter. Arya. He covered his face and his body was trembling. Can you hug me? I am so uncomfortable. Disgusting. Cheap. Shameless. Ryan. How dare you say such words to me? Look at you. At this moment. You are as shameless as an animal. The words from the past were returned by me intact. Every word was like a knife. Deadly. You are so dirty. I find it disgusting. Ryan hadn't buttoned his shirt halfway. His throat was blocked like there was cotton. He couldn't say a word. Arya. I am not dirty. This person looked rather aggrieved. I had no intention of wasting words, and just wanted to leave quickly. But I found that the door was locked from the inside. A bad premonition rose. Something's not right. The door was locked by Vivian. She said she would give you back to me. Ryan curled his lips. All these days. How could you be so cruel as to not even spare a glance at me? This person kept talking. But I couldn't listen at all. Vivian couldn't be so kind. She is keen on snatching everything I care about. Today's act can only be a diversion. Bad. My eyebrows twitched. Suddenly I remembered someone who was alone in the room. It's Leo. Vivian is aiming at Leo this time. after failing to break down the door. Under Ryan's hysterical shouts, I finally jumped out of the window. On the way to Leo's room, there was blood everywhere. My heart trembled. In the darkest corner of the room, I finally saw Leo holding a glass fragment. The young man's face was mostly hidden in the shadows. His consciousness blurred. Next to him was Vivian, who was tied up and struggling desperately. Sister. Hearing the noise, Leo rested his chin on my shoulder. I knew you would definitely come. He smiled, and his beautiful face became even more handsome. Sister chose me, right? Obviously. His palm was bloody and his lips were pale. But this person still had the energy to joke. I was both distressed and angry. Hug me. Sister. I'm uncomfortable. With our foreheads touching, the young man's voice was weak and gentle. I am too familiar with this state. Leo had an attack again. I hugged him. Now. Are you feeling better? His face flushed instantly. Hold me tighter. Now? You can touch me again. Sister. I like your touch. With our necks intertwined and soft whispers, the young man closed his eyes comfortably. And hold hands. Hold hands? I laughed and leaned close to him. Are you taking advantage of me? Leo froze and nervously pursed his lips. My smile widened. I lifted his chin and kissed him. Under this person's stunned gaze. Word by word. This is taking advantage. Stupid. You can be more excessive. Vivian's plan to force herself on Leo didn't succeed. On the contrary, she received a warning letter from Leo's lawyer. In an instant, there were rumors all over the internet. It's so dramatic. Isn't Godyen her brother-in-law? What's going on? My pants. My God. The secrets of the rich and powerful are too terrifying. Vivian was furious. The power of her heartthrob system has greatly decreased. Her control over the people around her is getting weaker and weaker. What she rose by is now devouring her. Mom, Dad, and brother woke up first and regretted deeply. Vivian was deprived of her status as the eldest lady. In desperation, she kidnapped me. I really hate it. Even if I have a system, I still can't tempt Leo. Why do they all have to love you? Beside my ear was the surging sea. Her voice was distorted and malicious. I was stunned. You can speak? Is my acting good? If I'm not pitiful, how can I attract pity? Vivian sneered. But even though I used all means, I still have nothing. Sue's parents seem to love me. But in fact they didn't give me any real power. At this point, I don't know if I should envy you or pity you. I cast a spell on everyone. Your parents. Your brother. Your son. Only Ryan wasn't. Funny, right? The man you care about the most can be deceived by me with just a hook of my finger. I looked at him quietly. Actually, it's not right. She was wrong. Ever since I found that the bracelet on Ryan's hand was her underwear strap, I vaguely sensed that Ryan didn't seem to love me as much as he appeared on the surface. Vivian's strategy was to kill me. When the two brothers of the Z family arrived, she dragged me off the cliff without hesitation. Now, let me see who loves you the most. I fell into the sea and completely lost consciousness. The system took a deep breath, detected that the male-led's emotions are fluctuating greatly. He looks very sad. Host. Is there really no chance for you two? No one is perfect. Who can be without fault? He really loved you before. Can't I tell if he loves or not? I sneered. If everything can be forgiven, then everything I've experienced is deserved. Moreover, now, I already have someone I care more about. At this moment, that person is firmly holding my hand. Firm, flamboyant, and very reassuring. Ryan's extra story. Ryan is proud, but in order to keep Arya. For the first time he felt that making peace was more important than dignity. He suddenly had a strong and sad premonition. If he didn't hold her hand tightly this time, then in this life, he would never be able to hold it again. Can losing face once bring back the ending of love? How much does it cost to treat me the same as before? I'll buy it. Arya. I recovered my memory. Can I buy it back? For the first time. The former superior knelt down and begged humbly. At the entrance of the Civil Affairs Bureau. The former superior humbly begged over and over again. Buy it even if it costs all my fortune. Buy it even if I have to sell everything. Buy it even if I become poor. The ones who should be happy are us. Right? I know I've never been good. Arrogant. Domineering. And unruly. I was wrong. Can you not leave me? He was so miserable. He could still endure the pain during an attack. But just thinking about Leo's intimate contact with Arya made him mentally collapse. For the first time. He missed someone crazily and found that this person had already taken root in his flesh and blood. It is said that people only know how to cherish after losing. In fact, losing after cherishing is more painful than anything else. He shouldn't have been so willful. He shouldn't have made his little girl sad. And he was too cowardly to jump down and hold her hand. From beginning to end. He was completely wrong. Pride often drags people down and makes love take a tortuous path. He remembered everything. In the instant when he was on the verge of life and death under the car. When his energy was exhausted. What brought him out of the siege was not courage but love. It was Ryan's love for Arya. Ryan really wanted to live and go on with Arya for a lifetime. He despised Leo's despicable means of seduction. But now, he deliberately begged with red eyes. In his memory, Arya loved him the most and couldn't bear to see his tears the most. He talked non-stop, wanting to use tears to win her pity and make them reconcile as before. But Arya was always so calm and looked at him quietly, making him look like a madman. Sir, who are you? You really look like my husband Leo. A single sentence easily defeated him, and he burst into tears. He recovered his memory. Why didn't Arya remember him? He had no weapons. A person as good as Arya. He would never meet someone like her again in his life. From then on, he stayed indoors and bit himself bloody every time he had an attack. Even had hallucinations. On the night of Arya and Leo's marriage, there were overwhelming news reports. He vaguely heard a voice telling him, "Drink this bottle of potion, and you can be with the person you love. The price is that you will fall into eternal sleep." He devoured it recklessly. Finally, he held a woman's shirt and curled up on the bed. "Ryan, congratulations. On the 100th day since you lost Arya. You've finally had a peaceful night's sleep. Extra story. My name is Arya. I am the happiest woman in the world. At 18, I found my biological parents. My parents and brother dote on me. My husband Leo is a peerless singer with astonishing talent. He is gentle and considerate. My son Ben is clever and obedient. He is a real clingy little cutie. Because I accidentally fell off a cliff. The doctor told me that I had lost a period of memory. But all the important people are by my side. I clearly remember being hugged into my husband's arms after falling into the sea. What else could I have forgotten? I can't figure it out, and don't want to think about it. Every day, I play with cats and feed fish at home. Occasionally, I take on some dramas that I like. After work, there is a handsome and virtuous husband who cooks delicious meals. There is a lovely and sensible son who massages my shoulders. When I am sad, there is a man who sings love songs to comfort me. When I am happy, there is a child by my side. The only thing that makes me feel strange. On the day when I got the marriage certificate with Leo, when I was waiting alone, a man who looked similar to him stopped me. This person said a lot of strange things and cried very sadly. A person who seemed so noble knelt down as soon as he said so. He was as embarrassed as a dog at the entrance of the village. I didn't understand what he said. I watched the hope in his eyes shatter inch by inch. Finally, he cried like a child. So embarrassed. Who on earth would fall for such a person? The next time I saw him was on the news. I saw the famous genius director commit suicide by taking sleeping pills. Also on that day, I finally knew. It turns out that this person was originally Leo's older brother. What's his name? Forgot. Anyway, it has nothing to do with me. Just continue to live my happy life and work hard on my acting career. I have everything I need. I don't need to seek from outside. I feel noble. For the rest of my life, I will be better. The road ahead is long. My life has just begun.